Hey, it's Dan, welcome back. This is iAllegedly, and I've got a good one for you today because half of all college graduates are not using their degrees. It's not funny, but before I get into it, please hit the like button, please subscribe to the channel. It's a ton to cover today. Okay, there's a lot. Global news, lots of stuff. And we have a sponsor, Ageless Multi-Collagen, and I will talk about them a little later. First things first. Right now, it's reported out of the Wall Street Journal that 1/2 of all college graduates right now are not using the degrees that they got right now for the jobs that they have. They are underemployed. And so many people have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars to get their degree. Let's just say everybody spent $100 grand to do this. It's not working, guys. It is not working. And there's a great article about this, about how Alexander Cross went to Northern Kentucky University. He's 29 years old and cannot get employed for what he got a degree for. And you see this all over the place. And here's the thing, like he said, everybody told us, we have to graduate high school, we've got to get a college degree, we have to have a 4-year degree, and if we do, it will be smooth sailing for the rest of our lives. Maybe not, okay? So first things first, you're starting to see bigger companies like Walmart, like Elon Musk, and with his companies, you know, I'm not really concerned about your college degree right now. Apply. If you're, you know, in the science space or in the tech space, you think you can do this job, let us know why you should. Now, do you have a better chance if you are a scientist and you've gotten the degree for that? I'm sure it would help with Elon Musk, especially if you're making rockets and things like that. But the idea with this is, one thing that I've talked to from all the investors and the business people and everybody that I've met when I did my medical conferences is that a degree showed that someone could put the work in. Now, if that's worth it, great. But the point is that these people and these kids are completely in debt to their to their eyeballs in debt. And now Joe Biden steps forward and says he's going to eliminate $1.64 billion worth of college debt. This is insane, guys. It's absolutely nuts because nobody, okay, I want free money. Okay, you should want free money. The fact that they're just giving these people forgiving their college debt is insanity. Here's the funniest part about this is since payments started to get reinstated, there are people that are actually getting refund checks that they're anticipating, hey, I want my refund checks because I paid my student loan payments and shouldn't have to now that I'm getting the money back. You're going to have chaos in this because, well, wait a second, I borrowed too much in buying that Ferrari and getting myself in debt for my jet skis and the boat over there that I can't afford. So I want you to forgive that. What's fair about this? What's fair? Well, people can't afford the debt, Dan. They can't afford, they're going through life and they're underemployed right now. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? You know, I have a 2-year degree, okay? Got a little bit of scratch and made a little bit of money in my lifetime. And my father said one thing, if you can sell, you will have a job for life. And he was absolutely right, because if I can do this and I can talk and I can market and I can do things, I will always have somebody that will hire me and pay me. It may be a commission-based gig, but you know what? I will have work someplace. And people don't want to see that. People don't want to deal with that right now. So, you know, is college a racket? Is it? You know, is it ridiculous? Should everybody go to college? Well, no, okay? It's not for everybody. You know, one thing that I agree with is if you have certain professions, you know, if you're a doctor, you're a lawyer, you're going to be an engineer, you need to go to school. You need to get the extra training and the extra education. I met a tremendous amount of people that wanted to be lawyers or thought they did because their parents sent them to law school with my late girlfriend Lisa's business. That she trained people how to pass the bar exam. And I would see people that were taking the bar 9 times and had no business ever being a lawyer because they were imbeciles and they couldn't market themselves and couldn't speak and couldn't figure out, you know, just critical thinking. Let's put it that way. And they're going to have somebody's life on the line, whether it be a business decision, a criminal decision, or whatever, okay? You need to have somebody who wants to be in that position and can think a certain way. And some of these people never should do that because their parents wanted them to do that. Would you want your doctor? Mom said I should be a doctor, so I'm here. I don't want that guy as my doctor at all. So this is what's wrong with this whole thing right now, is it's completely upside down. Okay? So is it fair that these people are getting this money back? Because I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous. There are people that have written me that have had well over $300,000 in student loan debt. And they have called me names, and I've told, one woman, I told her that her fiance should not marry her because it should not be his responsibility to be saddled with debt for the rest of his life. And it's not fair. And she was furious with that I said that. And again, go get a job that can pay $300,000 in debt. What job is that? Well, I changed degrees and changed my path, and now I want to be a social worker. Okay, well, what do they make? 60 grand a year if you're here in Los Angeles, but it costs $100,000 to live here. So what are you going to do? Seriously, that's the thing. I have a friend whose son changed his major 3 times, and now he's a therapist, and he's got $160,000 in debt. And just got married, just bought a house, and is saddled by that debt for the rest of his life. Okay? Well, we got to forgive that, Dan. We got to give that money back so this guy has a fighting chance. I want a fighting chance. I want $160,000 in free money. So let me know what you think about that. Now, next thing is there is a recession indicator that is under the radar right now, and it has to do with bonds and with what treasuries are paying right now. And here's the thing. The European Central Bank, for the first time since 2004, has lost money in 20 years. First time in 20 years, lost money. And they lost $3 billion. Now listen, don't worry, we're still going to be a central bank. We're still going to be, work on monetary policy. These are the idiots that are setting monetary policy, and they're telling you that they're upside down and they're not making money financially when they can print money out of thin air. If you pay attention to this channel and you read the comments from people in the UK, all they talk about is the lies that these European central banks are telling us. How inflation is at 10% when it's at 18%. The price of petrol, the price of fuel, it's only high because of this reason, and it's not. Energy costs, fuel costs, labor costs, they have the same problems that we have globally. Everybody has the same thing. No one's making enough money on their paycheck to cover their bills. Okay? Think about that. It is absolutely, completely upside down. Whether you live here in the States, you live in the UK, or you live so many other places. The next one, Africa. Nigeria right now has a 30% inflation rate. Now, Nigeria's been the butt of jokes about their inflation and how bad it is lately, but think about this. It is chaos over there. It is completely upside down because people cannot earn a living and get by. Well, it's the same thing in the UK. It's the same thing in Canada. It's the same thing here. I was originally going to title this video that about the indicator being, under the radar. These banks see problems. The European Central Bank that's losing money is we're just waiting for the states to lower interest rates, then we'll lower interest rates. It's a game, guys. It is an absolute game. Read these articles that get compiled because it gets to be chaos at some point that you have to sit there and go, I don't think this makes any sense. What makes sense is that this is not working. People have no money. People are not making enough money. People have college degrees, and you're being told that you need to go to college and pay all that money. And again, unless you are a lawyer, unless you are a doctor, you're going to be a surgeon, you're going to be a pediatrician, you're going to be a psychologist, or some type of, engineer or something that's elevated to a different level. What is the point? Seriously, right now. To get yourself $150,000 in debt? College for me was fun. College was a party, okay? And then I started a business, and I'm like, you know what? I think I'm going to continue. I'll go back. I'll go back next year. No, I'll go back to the year after that. And then the year after that. There was one point when I was doing my medical conferences, right, that, maybe I should still get the 4-year degree and see if this would do me anything. And one of the doctors I worked with laughed. He goes, what are you going to do? What are you going to make more money if you get a 4-year degree? I'm like, yeah, I guess you're right. So yeah, what's it going to cost you? So share your thoughts on all this stuff so far, because it's a rant. But remember, this is just happening to you, and who's mad about this? Because let's go there. I'm furious about this. I think it's unfair that these people are getting the student loan forgiven like it's nothing. I don't think it's right. Give me $150,000. Let's talk about our sponsor, Ageless Multi-Collagen. Collagen is a very important protein that runs through all our bodies. When we are 20 years old, we have an abundance of it. As we get older, it depletes every decade in our body. When we get to our 50s, they say that we basically have 20% of the collagen that we had when we were in our 20s. You can do something about that. Ageless Multi-Collagen from BioTrust is fantastic. 1 scoop a day gives you 10 grams of biopeptides. If you go to healthwithdan.com, you can save over 50% off the regular price. It comes from the good company at BioTrust. 5 different types of collagen from 4 premium sources for your skin health, your nail health, your joint pain, your gut health. It's absolutely amazing, but you've got to look at it today. So many of you have ordered it. I've taken it now for 6 months now. I've been taking it. My skin looks great. My joint pain has completely gone away. But go to healthwithdan.com today. Check it out, the good people at BioTrust. And again, take a look at it today and get yourself some Ageless Multi-Collagen. Brian Moynihan is the CEO of Bank of America, and he was at the Miami Investor Conference, and he did a bunch of interviews, but the best one is below for you from Fortune magazine, where Mr. Moynihan says people need to understand that wages and expenses went up substantially, and that you need to stay with the idea and the mindset of a 6% to 7% mortgage. Huh, okay, so that's high. Okay, can you afford that? Now, going back to Dave Ramsey, can you afford a 15-year mortgage, which right now is, last time I checked it was 6.25% for a 15-year mortgage. But who can afford that right now, guys? When you look at some of these houses, the average wages are down right now. But no. Wages are up according to Mr. Moynihan. People cannot afford this. The bank, you're going to see banks teeter and potentially go out of business at a record pace right now. We haven't seen anything. Remember, March of last year is when everything started to crumble. Remember that? Well, now it's time, guys. It's time for it to take a turn again. And they're gonna pay up. March 11th is due date for the bank agreement that they had set up. And Mr. Moynihan just says that you need to get ready for this. Now, what's gonna happen to the existing real estate agents that are out there? Because one thing that's being sent to me is that people are being told that, listen, you're gonna have to start paying your buyer's agent. You wanna buy a home, you need to go out and you need to work a deal with the agent on how you're going to pay that person. I had a TikTok sent to me where the agent says, I'm not even gonna speak to the buyer anymore. They just better send me my money because I was promised a commission of 3% and the seller's only paying 2%. So they need to cover the other $4,000 in commission. I'm like, wait a second, that doesn't make any sense. That's not fair. And again, the agent's not going to speak to them about that. Isn't that lovely? Now, great story out of San Francisco. San Francisco is a hellhole. And New York City is one step above San Francisco. I was there, guys, I know it. Okay, London Breed is the mayor in San Francisco who has let that place run down to the ground, and it has nothing to do with race. It has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that they don't prosecute criminals and that they've let crime run wild. Okay, Girls Gone Wild, Crime Gone Wild. You want to make a video series, Crime Gone Wild? Okay, there just won't be any boobs. You know what I mean? So it won't be as good. She's an idiot. Brandon Johnson from Chicago, another imbecile that you guys voted for. And then you got Mayor Adams in New York. You let these people get elected and then they've done nothing. But now Mayor Adams, you'll read the story that's below. He's given away $10,000 Visa cards to people that can't pay their bills, but they're giving away right now, student loan forgiveness. It's nuts. right now. So it's not a political channel, but I used to love to go to San Francisco. It was the most romantic city. Bring a date up there, walk around. I wouldn't go there to save my life right now because it is Escape from New York, you know, 2024. So mark my words on this stuff. Do you guys think I'm wrong on this? You think, oh, Dan, you're just exaggerating. It's not that bad. You know, Charles Barkley was talking about how bad it was. And they had the NBA All-Star game, which I don't watch the NBA anymore either. But the one thing that people sent me a ton of was the Charles Barkley clip about how dangerous San Francisco was. And it was just thug-ridden and it was completely overran. Oh, you can't say that. Why not? It's true. It's 100% true. Dan can say it. It's an absolute mess right now. But this woman's in jeopardy of not getting reelected. About time, guys. It's about time. You get what you vote for. Don't forget that, okay? So that city is destroyed. High-end businesses are leaving. You're going to see this happen in droves in San Francisco. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong about Chicago. Where's Ken Griffin at? Oh yeah, he's leaving Chicago too. You know what I mean? Come on, guys. It gets to a point that you have to say something about this stuff. So let me know what you think about this, okay? Let me know. Here's a couple disturbing stats for you. And, you know, we keep hearing about personal debt going through the roof. And it's at $1.14 trillion. And I get people that write me and say, oh, they're just going to forgive all that. Well, again, what do you do with somebody like me that paid off all their debt and has no debt? Do I get like, you know, a $250,000 check just to go have a party with? You know, let me know, okay? So I can get that right. But people, on an average of 1 in 4 people, 25%, cannot make the current interest payments right now on their credit card debt of $1.14 trillion. The average person right now has got $8,000 in credit card debt, okay? Now, I've met people that have had $80,000, $100,000. Oh, that's nothing, Dan. I don't want $160,000 in credit card debt. You get some people that are insane and completely over the top. The next thing is our national debt right now. And this is from Mish Talk, great article about how in 10 years we're going to spend $1.6 trillion on our interest and on Medicare. Okay, for the old people like me. I'll be there in that age by then. Hopefully, you know, I'll be, you know, sucking off the bottle and somebody will be taking care of me. But think about that, guys. They don't have the money for this. Okay, so this has been the thing that has been threatened to us, people my age and when I was born. Hey, listen, there may not be any Social Security for you. I don't think there's gonna be. I've met so many people in their 50s right now that don't believe that this money is going to be there for us in the coming years. So with that, what do you think? You know, Nikki Haley talked about this, and it was one thing. It's in the article below talking about how, you know, we're spending more on interest right now today than we are on our national defense. That's a crime right there. That's an absolute crime. But again, they own the printing press. They can print money hand over fist. Let me know what's right about this. Let me know what's wrong about this. But let me know what you think about this, if you think that this is right or if it's going to be fixed. You know, people just think they're just going to forgive this stuff and forget it. What do? Start over again? Let me know. I'm going to finish this video with these last 2 stories, and I love these stories. First one is Odysseus. It's an unmanned spacecraft that just landed on the moon. And I know that there's people out there that are like, no, it didn't. Didn't happen, Dan. It's fake. You know, remember, Stanley Kubrick's dead, guys. So how did they fake it this time if Odysseus didn't do it? So, first time since 1972, Apollo 17 was the last time we landed on the moon. Or did we? Anyways, I love that. But there was a college, and you can read the story below, that made these unmanned cameras that transmitted from the final 100 feet, but it took 15 seconds from for them to project and get data sent back to Earth from the moon. So it'll be interesting to see who talks about this and how fake it was and everything like that. And look at the sound stage, look at the lighting, look at where the sun was compared to where the moon's at. I mean, I can't wait for this stuff. And the final story, which I absolutely love, is Red Lobster has gotten rid of its endless shrimp deal. And they made a real big deal out of this where You know, last summer when they were losing money hand over fist, they said it was because of endless shrimp, and they had to raise the price from $20 endless shrimp to $23 and then eventually to $25. But that just didn't slow people down because they would just eat shrimp like it was going out of style. Okay, well now, because Red Lobster is ran by a den of idiots, they have a new program called Endless Lobster because it's Lobster Fest right now. But here's the difference. Only 12 people get chosen for this, and they still have to pay for their drinks. So of the people that got chosen to have Endless Lobster, it's like a dozen people. And then, okay, you can do this, but you got to pay for your own drinks. How cheesy is that, okay? You know, so it's completely ridiculous. They do things like this where they say, we're going to have up to 100 people sign up for this and give them free lobster. And then they didn't, okay? And then they limited it to 12, and only 12 people can have the lobsters, and you can only have 12 lobsters. I mean, could you eat 12 lobsters? Seriously. I mean, the cholesterol high, you know, let's talk to a doctor about that one. But anyways, thank you for all the birthday gifts that you've sent me. It's been very thoughtful, and I truly appreciate the cards and the time and the gifts and everything you've sent me. It's been very, very thoughtful, and I appreciate that. If you want to email me, it's hello@iallegedly.com. I'll see you real soon.